Today we're going to do some work on my 2023 Toyota Tacoma off-road. I've had this truck now for, actually had it a year today. And I haven't really done much to it, done some interior mods, but today I want to set it up for some camping this summer. As you can see, I already installed the deck drawer system. It's been in there for about 2 weeks. I plan on doing another review on that coming up in about a month or so. But today we are installing the bed rack, the Overland Bed Rack from Cali Raised, and the 4x4 or Colorado 4x4 rooftop tent. Alright, so just starting out, one of the other things I picked up was the bed stiffeners, because the Toyota Tacomas, they do have a composite bed, so any kind of fatigue that you want to try to avoid, get these bed stiffeners. So basically, trying to install them with the deck system already in is you can't do it. So first thing we got to do is loosen these up and basically pop off the right side panel and the left side panel of the deck drawer system, because we have to drill on this side of the truck bed. So for the install today though, we are smoking some cigars. These are going to be some Java Corona Maduro and Backwoods Honey Bourbon. So kind of take the stress off tearing everything apart and putting it back together. Alright, now that we got the side panels removed, you can see that we're going to have to drill on this side. So with this drill here, you can see that with this drill we can easily get into there and we can get and drill. So, alright, so to take out the rear, the tail light here, you're going to want to take out this bolt here and the very bottom bolt here. So it's only 2 bolts, 10 millimeter. Alright, so the light, so now once you remove those 2 bolts, it's really easy to kind of pull the light out. Inside of here, there's actually 2 plastic pieces that it actually clips into the body. And so what you're going to want to do is kind of pull up and pull straight out. If you were to pull it too far out to the right or off to the side, you risk snapping those off. And then hang it down so to make sure it doesn't scratch your body. So to line up to take these bed bolts out for the bracket, this is a T30 and this is a T55. So basically just loosen those up and then you can line up the bracket. Alright, so to get proper alignment, what you're going to want to do is you want to put the bracket in, hold it tight, and then you're going to want to put the bed bolts that you took out, put those back in so it gets proper alignment, and then it lines up all the bolts. So I'm going to take a drill bit, it's a 3/8 of an inch drill bit, and then you're going to basically just take this and just score just to mark where you want to actually drill at. So hold this tight. And you're doing just enough just to score so you know exactly where to drill. Go. And now take a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill the pilot hole. Alright, so now that you got the pilot holes drilled, what you're going to do is take the 3/8 bit and you're going to drill out these 3 holes here, and you're going to drill out your 4th one here. So. so if you have a bed that is already warped, what you're going to need to do is these brackets, you have to do this in a specific order. To basically, after I drilled these holes, I took a small round file, deburred it as best as I could, and then basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the main bolt, put this in, and all you're going to do is do hand tight for right now, just to line up the bracket itself. And then what you're going to do is you're going to install a bolt and a washer in each spot, and then on the inside here where you drilled the hole on the inside of the light, you're going to make sure you do a washer and a nut on the inside as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the top. It's hard to see because of this bracket here, so you're going to have to start, and you got to get inside of here, and then also with the one that is on the back side, and we'll explain about that here in a second, but you got to do all 3 bolts on the front, and then you have to do the rear that you drilled on the side before you tighten these down all the way. So as you can see, you see the 2 bolts on the bottom, and there's a bracket just above the 2 bolts that they're hard to get to, but you can use a 9/16 socket to hold, and then the one at the very top you can use a deep well socket to hold it. So so now to tighten these down, what you're going to do is you're going to start with the top one here, and you're going to work your way down. So you're going to tighten these 3 first, then you're going to do the back one here, and then after you get those 4 tightened down, now you're going to tighten down the bed bolt, which is going to actually, if you have any warpage or anything going on, that's actually going to pull your bed back to factory specs. Alright, so you're going to tighten this one down after you get these 4, these 3, and then this one on the back tightened down. Now you're going to go to the bed bolt, tighten that down. What that's going to do is that's going to actually pull the bracket, and that's going to pull your bed back into spec if there's any warpage or anything like that. After you tighten that one down, now you can tie down or tighten down the tie down bolt. Alright, now just basically the way you pull the light out, just go ahead and put it back in. If you did replace, or if you did remove the light completely, just go ahead and line these up. It's pretty self-explanatory. They actually made it to where you cannot put this one, the connection here, you can't mix them up. So they're pretty straightforward. So when you put it back in, just line it up with the plastic holes. You'll hear a click, and then just replace these 2 with the bolt here and the bolt here, and then you got your light back in. Go. Okay, so one problem that we ran into, if you are planning on running the deck system, or if you already have it and you're installing these, and you got these, so these the bed supports, they came from Cali Raised. I don't know if any other company, if they're going to be different, but these are right from Cali Raised. So basically what happened is now with the deck system, this wing, actually you can't put it in, so you're going to have to cut it. So if you have a Dremel, that works out perfect. So this is a rough cut, we will clean it up, but basically you're looking at roughly, you're looking at probably about an inch up, and then roughly a ½ inch to maybe 3/4 cut in. And that's actually 4 inches, right on the money, 4 inches from the cut that you're going to want to do. So go ahead, and if you want to do it, you can get a marker, line it up, and just score it if you want to, but that's going to be a rough cut. So, and that gets around the bracket, so you can actually get the wing back in. Alright, so we started installation of the Cali Raised Overland Bed Rack. A few things to note. First off, if you actually look up the directions, they are vehicle specific, especially with these like the supports here. So this is for Toyota Tacoma and a Tundra, and then so this is one of the foot. So there are going to be 4 of them. Obviously, Tundras might have one more, or depending on what your rack is. Also, so these are the cross. So what you're going to do is these T-nuts right here. The easiest way I found was slide them in into the grooves, slide them far enough up so that they're going to be out of the way. The side ones here for the foot, slide them up out of the way because the foot's going to basically clamp right here, and then you can use a screwdriver and get them into place. I would do the rear ones first and then do the front ones after that. So basically slide it all the way in, and then take your screwdriver, slide it in, and just line up the hole, and then put your bolt and the washer in. If you go too far, this will actually ride up on the support, and so you might be offline. If you do that, just back it up a little bit until you can see the line up the hole. And then just do that same thing with the rest of the remaining bolts. And then tighten up as you need. Alright, so we got the rack on. It was one of those where it's pretty straightforward really once you start digging into it, so didn't feel like we had to show you every single step. But a couple of lessons learned. So the feet right here, I would keep them loose, a little bit loose, so you can adjust a little bit, but these ones up here, keep these loose because you have to adjust it to the size of your bed, the truck, the bed. And so what you'll do is, what we ended up having to do is we loosened them a little bit, measured out, kind of try to keep everything even, move the bracket out, and then retightened them. So once you do that, because we had about an inch gap on this side, so we basically took a ½ inch on each side, adjusted everything out, and then bolted everything down, and it's solid. So it's ready for the roof rack. Alright guys, so mounting the 4x4 Colorado rooftop tent. A couple issues. Again, we're using the Cali Raised Overland Bed Rack. So our idea was to actually mount, so we have the supports that go from each side, and that we're going to mount to. Originally we were going to mount to the bracket, the support bracket going to each side of the bed. However, the rail is not long enough, and as you can see, the bed, in order to have some clearance and to get to the buckle, we have to keep this at a certain distance away. So we don't have enough room to mount it. So our solution is, because we don't have a lift either, a pulley system or anything, we are going to, I guess you can call it redneck engineering. We're going to have a jack, and we're going to jack a board up, and we're going to lift the front end up, and we're going to mount to these rails right here. So we're going to jack it up enough to where we can loosen up the 3/8 inch bolt, the front ones, and then we got to do the same to the rear, and then we can slide those supports over to get to these channels right here so that we can mount directly to them. So again, we're using just a normal vehicle jack with a board, and because we don't have a lift or anything, or a pulley. If you have a pulley, obviously you can put some straps in there and lift it up and then make your adjustments. But this is our workaround that we found from center. So these supports here are the connections. From center of this connection, and basically this bolt to the center of this, is 22.5 inches. So again, if you're using like a Cali Raised Overland bed that has the bracket with the notches and the holes inside of it, then you're gonna have to do the center, make it to center. So again, 22.5 inches. So we'll touch back when we're all done. All right, so what you'll see here is we have it jacked up, and then we have blocks actually in the rear. So what we have here is now we loosened up all these the bolts, and these are actually 3/16, I believe, bolts. So basically we got it to where we can easily slide them back and forth. But now we have the bolts that are going to secure the roof rack to the frame. So basically what we can do now is just get them in line, figure out where we want them, and then we can slowly lower the jack down and place those. And then we can remove the boards and place the rears. So it makes it actually pretty simple to do. So here it is. This is again the 4x4 Colorado, the Alto Mini, which is a queen size footprint. It wasn't as challenging as I thought it was going to be trying to get it mounted. But overall, first impressions, I'm pretty happy with it. Wait till I get out and use it. But mattress feels pretty good. It feels like it's got a ton of room, especially just for me. The one thing I did like about it, and the one reason I did pick this one over a different one, was the fact that it has actually a built-in vent. So if you have a diesel heater, it actually has a built-in vent so that you can actually run a diesel heater to it. So, yeah, I'll have to give you guys my thoughts after it gets used.